Alright, so we got one last thing we need to do here. What is this? There we go. Yeah. My good friend Rusty Sherrod sent me the parts to build him a truck a while back, and I figured what better way to show it than to do it on YouTube for him. So if you'd like to see me build this beautiful truck, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and then share it if you like it. And I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, first things first, let's see how high it sits. See, it's sitting all the way down on the tires, right there. Let's take our little ruler here, stick it in there and see. Just over a ½ inch high. Yeah. And the white wall is totally exposed. So what we got here, if you look up in here, excuse me, let me speak up a little. It's actually the tire hits inside, obviously. What I need to do here is come in, take this part out of the frame, and do a little bit of hammer work. Take these out, or actually bend them over, cut this off right here, fix some of this up, put it all back together, mount our bed, make a frame. I gotta make a frame too. So let me get to taking this thing apart. Let's see here. This is a very practiced build. Okay. Now what I need to do is, I need to get them fenders up out of the way. See, we need to bring them on up. We're getting a little bit lower. Now that we got this stuff, now that we got all this out, we're getting close. We need to see how much closer we can get. See? It's coming up a little bit. You can see it right there. Needs to come up some more. So now that I've got that little ridge right there, see that little ridge? Now that I've got that little ridge hammered out of this side, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start folding that fender out, or pushing that fender out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hold it at an angle as I hammer. See it? Now it's coming up. Now we're getting there. Yeah. Let's do this other side. Alright, come in for a good test fit here. So our cab is still up against the bottom. Real nice. So I think what I can do here, a lot of that is once I get the back cut off, I've still got a little bit of a lip right here on both sides. But I think for the final time I put it together, I'll come in with my ball peen and hammer that in there and fill that gap and kind of make that blend to look real good right there. So I think what I want to do now is go ahead and cut right there. Can you guess what I'm going to use to cut that frame off with? Can you guess what I'm going to use for that? Huh? Anybody guess? Oh, not that. Those? Ah. Dun, 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 dun. Handy dandy. Gilson shears. Man, I tell you, I don't get paid to tell you all about these. I promise you I don't. And a lot of metal workers don't really know much about these little handy dandy tools. And I've done a lot of research to find these. Took a really, really, really long time to actually find these and digging and researching on cutting metal and stuff. So, yeah, check this out. I'm gonna get right here on my line. Pay attention, because it's gonna make one heck of a pretty cut. And these are a few years old, and I got a new set of Gilson shears, but I got the wrong ones that didn't have this black die on the end. So I ended up mismatching parts. So I've still got my old blade in here with the new handle and all that stuff. These are bastardized, I guess you could say. Just like everything around here. But it works. Look at that. But if you get them on the right track, son, they take off. I'm talking about watch. Watch this. Look at that. Right around that dang bend, paw. Look at there. Look at that cut. Now what I need to do is come in here and make this cut. Yeah. That ain't an easy one to make. That'll work for now. So now let's take our bed. Gonna sit right there, just like that. Perfect. To get it back here to the center of the back axle, right here, you get something that kind of help you guys see it too. I can see it pretty good. So that's about the center of it. So say 13.5 is the center of the back axle. That's how long my frame needs to be, at least. I'm gonna go ahead and make it just a hair longer. I'm gonna go ahead and do 14-inch long. 14. Well, that don't work. Where's my black marker? It's right here. Okay. 14. Long. How wide's it got to be? Well, this is going to be our choke point. that's 3 inches. So we'll do 2 3/4 and add a 1/2 inch, so 3 3 3/4. This is my total. So it'll be 2 3/4 wide with a 1/2 inch lip on each side. 14 inches long. 3 3/4 wide. You wanna go with me to the shear? Okay. So I went, cut my piece down. I went ahead and cut it all out. And then before I moved the camera, I went ahead and marked my 2 lines for my 1/2 inch sides. Here we go. So I got my 2 lines, and those are scribed in, scratched into the metal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this metal in there, and I'm gonna click it back and forth until I find the center of that scribe. Hear it? Hear that? Now I'm right in the center of that tooth. There. Pretty much clicked in place, but I got that blade up a little high, so I'm gonna double check it. I'm clicked in. Clicked in. Perfect. Do this side. Hear it? There's the middle. There's the middle. We got us a frame. When I got back to the workbench, it was just too short. So I doubled it. I made it 1 inch side instead of a 1/2 inch. Now I should have plenty of room for my axle. Yeah. Now what I need to do is mount the frame to the bottom of the cab. Then once I get the frame mounted to the bottom of the cab, I can set it in here and measure how big of a perch I need, and I'll just end up using this for my perch. Right, so let me do that real quick. Let me get out my rivets. I got my piece, clamp laid it on together. Right on. Now let's go right here. Put us in a couple of revolts. I got my frame mounted. Now I'm making the edge for my bed. So what I've done, I've put in this little piece here. Just added that on. I should have bent it over, but I added it on. And now I've measured me out a little piece that's 3/4 of an inch tall. And I got me a 1/2 inch spot to put, well, the bottom of the bed. That's where I'm at. Okay. And we're going to attach this to the front. So let's get that in there. Sometimes with new tips, they'll stick. You just give it a little twist and they'll come right off. See there? Now here's the plan. Come in here just like that. And that should be the perfect height. Now I'm going to spot weld this in. That should sit right there just perfectly. What I do a lot is I use a real small bit to start, and then I get my bigger bit. Got our bed mounted. It's a little bit crooked. I think it's coming from this red metal up under there. So before I mount the back axles or drill the holes, I'm going to pull it back apart. But I am going to go ahead while I've got it all, and I'm going to go ahead and do the front. So I like to just put it where it looks good and hold it. Okay, now probably going to be, shoot, it's hard to see. I'm just going to put it about halfway. I'm going to put it right there. I can always go down, I can't come back up. And it's really hard to see in there, and I think I'm pretty close. So, I'll just measure it for the other side after I poke this hole. So now what I'm going to do, I got a little short axle here. I'm going to put it in just to check. Oh wow, I can go a long ways. That's where I can file. Chainsaw file. 3/16. That'll do it for now. I know it rolls good. So now I just need to measure how far back that is. Line it up with the end of our frame. 1.25 inches from the front. That's it. And 1/4 inch up from the bottom. So 1.25 inches from the front. Look at that. It's pretty dead on. Both ways. Getting good at this stuff in my old age. Well, shucks. Perfect. Let's try this one. Definitely gonna need a longer axle. Perfect. We got rollage. This right here is what's keeping this wheel from rolling. Right on. I'm just gonna come in here with our regular old 10 snips. There. I think that'll do it. And you see all my tools. I've cleaned this workbench up twice since I started this truck. It just don't do any good. Now, Now we need to take care of this and this. See what I'm talking about? Nice and smooth. See that big old lip? We gotta fix that. That's gonna hold up our tar. Yeah. Okay, now I think we can mount our tab back. Alright, so we got our axle mounted. Let's get this all put back together. Yeah. Now all I really need to do is figure out where to put my axles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay them on top. Like this is what I'm looking at. And I'm going to center it up in that hole. Right there. Right? Where's my marker? And I already know how far down I have to go .25 to match the front. There. We got our axles and everything mounted on the truck. Next thing I want to do, I need to fix these 2 spot welds and put our logo in. And I do my logo by hand. So turn it around. Yeah, that'll work. There. She's stamped. Got this little bit up here. I'll take my dolly, put it under there. fix these. Needs a bigger hammer. That should do it. All right. Moment of truth. I have not seen this put together yet, standing on its own. So you get to see it with me. See if it lines up, see if it's wobble popped, see whatever. Excuse me. Alright, let's go ahead and put our patina sauce on there. You know, I built this truck for my good friend. Wow, look at there. Look at there. I built this truck for my good friend Rusty Sherrod. He sent me all the parts a while back, and he's been very, very patiently waiting for me to build it for him. Alright, so we got one last thing we need to do here. Alright guys, well, we got our build all wrapped up and everything for my good buddy Rusty. We got us some pawpaw sauce on the cap. That's what he called it, pawpaw sauce. I like it. I call everybody pawpaw. I say it all the time. But anyway, we got her all looking nice and fine. We got her signed on the bottom. And she is ready for a load. I'm keeping my little hot rod. That's actually the very first one of these trucks that I built. I actually built that hot rod to go on it. So I don't really want to get rid of my hot rod. I really like that little car. I've had it for a couple of years now. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe, and tune in for next week. I'll have something really cool for you guys to watch, and share it with your buddies and let everybody know that you like some hunk and junk. Go get you some old crusty rusty toys, cut them up, make something cool, hunk and junk them. Have a good day.